set up Shady. Bump it on through. Down we go. Express. Stays back. Hell of these balls playing with their competition a little bit. Jules! Whoa! That was insane! Last season, both of them had experience on the international stage. And there it is. Showcasing from Corsos. We might have a series. You see me. Have to do with CJ who's taking it all. Oh my god! What? And to the very last series, welcome back to the Rocket League OCE Championship and League Play, proudly supported by Macca's, where the Monopoly game at Macca's is back. 1 in 5 instantly win. The gentleman next to me, as you always know, this is Courier Lord, this is Yummy Cheese Man, and I am Hysterics. And we had the pleasure of taking you into Conspiracy, taking on Pale Horse for the last spot.
We didn't know if this match was going to matter, but we know now. This is a regional championship spot. The winner goes through to PAX. The loser goes home.
Yeah, Conspiracy playing for 4th place, Pale playing for 3rd, but if they lose, they get leapfrogged all the way down.
Yeah, and if Pale Horse win, their 3rd spot, yeah.
Conspiracy Esports. I was never going to think that they were going to be in this position. They came in as 7th, Noises and Toxic as 8th, the two teams that were outside the bubble, as we called it, and now Conspiracy.
On the bubble.
Well, yeah, on the bubble.
Looking
Conspiracy in the bubble. Screw the bubble, it's been popped. Conspiracy are in it. They're in the top 6 now, because Legacy, they've gotten 7th. Conspiracy, I can't believe I'm saying this, but on their first season, they could be looking at League Play. At LAN. Close it up.
Nailed it.
Good stuff. Yeah, they could be looking at LAN and it would be huge. If Conspiracy upset another team, if they take down Pale Horse, who have been one of the favorites coming into the season, then it's going to be insane. I'd be so happy if they made it. It would also be their first ever LAN.
Yeah,
as a team coming forward, and it would be the first showing of a team that was completely unexpected to make it, to blow everyone out of the water.
On the same note as Pale Horse, their chance at their first ever regional championship, their first go at RLCS, only Kami having really had a chance before of coming through. And even now, Kami's one of the best players. He's in contention for so many awards.
He's stepped up through this season. Kami has been such a great highlight player. Along with Kia, we look at people like CJ as well on Pale Horse.
So all 3 members.
Yes. Yeah. I just want to individually point them all out. From Pale Horse, look, they came out of nowhere. They came into the off season. We're like, oh, who are these guys? Big contention. Went to the grand finals against Jam. They're now into the championship season, and we expect them to take that 3rd place. However, Conspiracy have upset before. What's stopping them from doing it again?
Nothing. Conspiracy have a style that is sort of opposite of Pale Horse. Pale Horse about being aggressive as possible, about not giving their opponent any room, and Conspiracy are about being patient. So if they're patient and they let Pale Horse get the touches, it'll give Pale Horse the dictation of play, but as long as Pale Horse aren't being perfect, they can capitalize and get the counterattacks.
Okay.
Yeah, like a traditional Jam play style versus something more of a Scylla kind of thing. Fast and pressure-based versus counterattacks coming forward.
Conspiracy Esports have shown small adaptations throughout League Play, and they have been pushing out a little bit more, and that aggression seeming a little bit more through, and that's how we saw those defeats of some of the better teams.
Yeah, and it's Conspiracy's court right now to cause the upset. They don't have too much pressure, but I know that they're really, really excited. The players have all been talking to me throughout the week, being like, what do we get if we go to PAX? How do we get there? What's the day it's on? They're really excited, and it's good to see the actual excitement from these brand new players.
Walcott, Hectic, Slurpee, all players that have been experienced in the past, but now this is their opportunity. Are they good enough to go to LAN? And Yummy, do you believe?
I don't believe I'm not a
Not even if you tried?
Not even if I tried. Pale Horse, I think they're such a great team. They came in form last week where they took down both of their series, and now they're going to have to take down Conspiracy, which they'll probably do 3-1.
Yep, I'm the exact same boat. It's going to be Pale. It's going to be 3-1. But I think we're going to see a good showcase from Conspiracy nonetheless.
See, I've always been on Pale Horse's side, and I always believe they're such a strong team. And Yummy, there's no bias. Shut up. We've seen so much from Pale Horse. You were going to. But Conspiracy have made me a believer.
See what I have to deal with, people?
Conspiracy have made
We have
me
to deal with
a believer. Shut up.
It's okay.
Let me talk about Conspiracy. I believe in Conspiracy Esports. If they can take down one of the bubble teams, they can take down them all. And Pale Horse, you got to watch out because Conspiracy Esports right now, they're fighting to get to LAN. And we get to the most important series of the day because this is our last spot.
And this is a spot for league play.
What can Conspiracy Esports do to Pale Horse? They've pushed up there, Korea. This is not defensive. Hectic's up, Slurpee's up. Hectic starts off strong and hits it to Kami.
Kami, one of our powerhouse players of the OCE region, got his own spotlight as well. Strong showing from Conspiracy out of the gates.
We've seen so much from Hectic, from Walcott, challenging those MVP titles each and every week. Slurpee Monster also helping insinuate that, so we have to look at Conspiracy Esports as a very serious contender. They've pushed up to Pale Horse, and when Pale Horse are on the defense, you feel like they get a little bit shattered inside.
Yeah, they're a team that's used to fast pressure-based plays, and when they're forced to defense like they were against Scylla, that's when they start to see holes cracking in their little network they've built.
Yeah, but now they're on to the attack, and this is where Pale Horse find their comfort. Slurpee Monster gets it out of there into CJ. How on form of Pale Horse Esports for the chance at LAN, for the first LAN, the save. CJ, and Walcott gets the first goal of the series.
Stolen from right under their noses. Pale Horse thought they had that nice and safe, but Walcott's like, no saves for you. Dunk.
What a start. This series is going to be intense. Walcott getting the first goal for Conspiracy Esports. That could be the difference. Let's find out. We still have a lot of time.
It dictates the way the rest of this match has to be played. When you've got the lead, you're typically going to hold it. So let's see if Conspiracy knuckles down or if they just keep going hard.
Here for the solo play. There's an opening. Kami finds it, and there's a response.
Quick, sharp, and fast. That is Pale Horse's motto. They don't buckle to the pressure, and they start guns blazing, coming back for revenge.
But they needed that. Pale Horse really needed that to put themselves in a position of control. And now we see Conspiracy Esports on edge. Normally they shelter back and they go for that very defensive style, but Conspiracy Esports have changed week by week, and they've been a team that's developing. Korea, we said their defensive style is almost mastered, or at least it feels pretty mastered. How can they go on the offense? And they've shown us that they can play pretty well. The improvement of this team is limitless.
Yeah, the adaptation has been great. We started off the season with them being a very defensive team, camping the goals at the cost of the opportunity of moving forward.
Hectic.
But now we're seeing them going for the big plays that allow them to take down the teams. They've been the Jam Slayers, the Legacy Slayers, the Advanced Slayers. Now it's their chance to be the ones that take down Pale Horse.
Well, the Jam Slayers in a different tournament, I guess you could say, but the main thing is they held off to Jam. But they've been the Avant, they've been the Legacy Slayers. That's what matters here for Conspiracy Esports. Will they slay Pale Horse? You saw a great save before from Walcott as he swiped through and saved the ball. Now Pale Horse under a bit of pressure here. The ball gets hit forward. Kia into the defense. Walcott off the wall. Looking like in good form. Trying to hit CJ. Slurpee Monsters there. The attack not stopping. Nice touch from Walcott. Hectic hits back and we hit up by Kia. Hectic around the corner. Waiting for the ball to bounce. Gets a big shot.
But Pale are really struggling to get this into the Conspiracy side of the pitch because every time they go for that shot up, Conspiracy are faster off the ground and they throw it right back at them.
Kami setting it up. Good for Pale Horse. Hectic, can he reach up? Yes, he does. Nice touch on the ball. We'll get it over the top of Kia. CJ, light touch, but it hits Slurpee Monster and he hits it over to the side and we can see Conspiracy trying to regain that control. They've hit it into CJ. Walcott's up. And everyone from Conspiracy are really taking it to Pale Horse.
This is a surprise. I expected this to be a pretty clean sweep from Pale, but Conspiracy have improved so much over the course of the season. I did not give them enough credit, and they're showing me why.
The fact that they're holding with what was one of our top 4 teams. This is incredible. Conspiracy Esports have such a big chance in this series, and seeing from game number 1, if they can keep this up, then we're going to have a very close series. It might feel like a Scylla versus Chiefs once again.
We're seeing all 3 players of Conspiracy come forward. This is something they never would have done at the beginning of the season, but now when they're confident, they know their opponent is pressured in that corner play, they're like, we can move all 3, rotate aggressively, and take advantage of it.
Pale Horse missing a couple of crucial touches here, but Conspiracy Esports are able to recover the ball. In game number 1, it's one apiece, and Conspiracy have held on. Getting that first goal was a great driver for motivation for them. Kia misses that touch, and it's back over to Walcott and Slurpee. Do we see overtime, or is this going to be closed out? It's anyone's guess right now. Conspiracy Esports holding strong. Pale Horse, they're going to start on the attack again, but interrupted by Slurpee Monster. He's hit it up. He's not done just yet. Walcott centers it, but Hectic's not there. Bit of miscommunication, but a famous duo we know. Played a lot of solo queue there. Hectic and Walcott can do what they can.
Yep, Kia gets off the ground fast enough to slide under Conspiracy's team. Now they contest the ball in their own half.
Ball centered again. Walcott here with the pass. It goes wide. Kami's behind. One of our highlight players again. Kia will respond off the wall. Doesn't have really enough boost, but now picks up the full ball and will be able to drive the ball. Rest of Conspiracy, they're back into defense. Maybe overtime is the safest option for them right now.
Scary moments when Kia and Kami are running up your walls. They're both famous players to be able to take those sharp angles or even make the pass plays. High risk when you're defending.
Back on the ball now, it's Kami. The player that they have to worry about the most, positioning very key for Pale Horse here. 10 seconds remaining. Conspiracy might have one more big play, but it looks like Pale Horse will find the clear. They pass it down to CJ. CJ, look at the setup there. But a great save from Walcott. Keeps the game alive. Are we into overtime? The question is now moot as we see Slurpee pushing forward for Conspiracy Esports. They might have just done it. A quick demolition. The ball hasn't hit the ground just yet. But as it is around the midfield, Hectic will enable so.
Once again, Conspiracy fast off the ground, finishing that overtime and starting it again.
But the thing is, overtime game one. This is so close, but not for Pale Horse. 4 seconds in, they'll take game one.
CJ stepping up. Here's a speedy player that knows how to get to the ball fast, showcasing it here by having that position opening up the goal, and done.
What a surprise. That's the Pale Horse speed. That's the Pale Horse tempo that we're used to. Getting game one is good for Pale Horse. Conspiracy held on, though. So this is going to be a close series. Even though game one, at the end of the day, goes to Pale Horse, Conspiracy have got a lot to say. We're watching them closely and how they can develop in this series itself.
Yeah, if you just look at the scoreboard, outside of assists and goals, it's pretty much identical with just rearranged numbers for each of the players.
Yep.
So it was incredibly tight, both on the pitch and on the board. And when push comes to shove, yes, Pale Horse are one game up, but games don't matter so much as only the match win does for deciding who goes forward.
That's right. Pale Horse want this as well because we think and we know, actually, that these players have worked so hard for it. They have developed in the off-season. They've now come into the championship season, and Pale Horse are such a good mob to watch. When they go fast, they look clean as well. That tempo looks great. And even the audience is split with the decision-making as well. 50-50 exactly with the votes. So right now, anyone's guess, Conspiracy Esports have a bit of a following.
Yeah, and it's us on the desk are broken the same way. Me saying Pale, you saying Conspiracy. There is no way for us to split the hairs for who's the favored team.
Conspiracy, they looked good at the start of that game. Let's see if they can do it again in game number 2 and really second guess us. Because even though I believe in Conspiracy here, Pale Horse is such a strong mob. And when you look at the standings, when you look at the previous history, you say a new squad versus not as new a squad in Pale Horse, but an experienced squad in Pale Horse. That's a scary question. Let's see if the consistency can hold up.
I think an interesting...
Or not. Are we... No. Pale Horse have done it. They've done it. No. Unfortunately, we are going to have a remake of the game there. CJ's like, everyone left except for CJ.
Hello, darkness, my old
And he just
friend.
decided to push through the middle and get a goal. That's momentum. That's momentum building right there. In all seriousness, when we jump back into this game, we are going to be looking for these kickoffs. We are going to be looking for that really strong building of pace that Pale Horse are used to and that Pale Horse always deliver to us. Off the kickoff, we saw the goal there in overtime, 4 seconds in.
Yeah.
And that was very Pale Horse-esque, if I dare say so.
That's their thing, right? They go fast off the ground and they like those pass plays. And also the wall passes they're famous for. You have Kami and Ki, they just Spider-Man that thing and then goals from that harsh angle.
Yeah. Moving forward, however, we have to look at, okay, if Pale Horse go through to LAN, they have a big contention, like going up against the second seed, which I believe now is confirmed as Chiefs.
Yeah, it should. I believe off the top of my head, it'll be Jam in first, Chiefs in second. If Pale wins, they take third. If Conspiracy wins, they take fourth. And Scylla is going to bounce between the other two positions.
Okay. Pale Horse are a scary mob. They haven't played LAN yet, though.
They haven't
Nor
played,
have Conspiracy. So
they both could be fresh.
Throw down there. That's right. They could be a devastating opponent, or they could be a team that struggles at LAN. But we have to find out. And we have to find out, of course, first who does take that position. And off the back of this series, we will know. But Pale Horse, they do take game number 1, and that is the difference there, and could really be the challenge as well. Pale Horse, apparently 52%. I don't care. I don't care.
That's a very small amount considering Pale just won a game. There's not many conspiracy fans that have jumped ship. They still have we can win with a 1-game deficit.
Well, end of the day, let's question ourselves a little bit more. The worst case scenario here is that one of these teams will be knocked out, and it is the worst case scenario.
It's going to happen.
We've got one game left of league play. That's all we've got left, unfortunately.
But I think an interesting thing to go forward, which you were starting to mention, is how it's going to line up versus the rest of the seeds. So we know that Jam's going to be sitting in first, and Chiefs are going to sit in second. Conspiracy is in a spot where, when they come in fourth, they've beaten Jam before. They've got about a 50% win rate, I believe, unless they've played a couple more matches I'm not aware of, against Jam. So they're going to be pretty happy with that matchup. But for Pale, they don't match up well against Chiefs, and they'll be coming in third, so that might be a little gross.
A little gross, Korea. A little gross. Staring down the barrel of the PAX LAN, both of these teams right now, Conspiracy have so much to offer. As Yummy was saying, they're so excited. They just want to make it to PAX LAN. What do we do? What do we bring? Do I bring my toothbrush? What do I do here? And Pale Horse, they definitely deserve it. In the off-season, making it to the grand final, and if you didn't make it to PAX LAN, will be devastating. To go up against Jam in that off-season and then not be able to potentially face them at LAN, to potentially face a team like Chiefs at LAN and prove your worth, it'd be great for Conspiracy, but for Pale Horse, it'd be like a knife in the back.
Yeah, for Pale, especially against Jam, that's a matchup they're, dare I say, looking forward to. With their full roster against Jam, Pale has a 100% win rate. They haven't dropped a match against Jam. So if you can beat Jam pretty consistently with a full roster, and you then only have to worry about Chiefs and Scylla, and if Jam's coming out top, if you can beat the Kings, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, have seen some good placements today, and I think biggest upset so far was Scylla taking down the Chiefs 3-2. If this comes into fruition, if Conspiracy are able to claw their way back after game one, then this is the difference between Scylla and Chiefs is an upset, but Conspiracy beating Pale Horse, that is a devastating loss.
That's David Goliath, that kind of thing.
Except Goliath won. That's what because everyone says David and Goliath, right? But David wins.
Yeah, that's the surprise.
Yeah.
So Conspiracy beating Pale is also
it's not a surprise because everyone knows the story, so they know that David wins.
Yeah, but when you're watching the tiny dude trying to throw stones at the giant, they won't be like, "No, I already read this one."
But the giant's
Spoilers.
dumb, and David went to Harvard. So what's the point?
There was no Harvard back then.
I don't know what Harvard was back then.
There was no Harvard back then.
I did so well in not being a dongle today, and I've just thrown myself into the pit. You know?
Long story short, David and Goliath story.
Please.
If they could take out Pale Horse, which is the Goliath, they're a team that has dominated the off-season here. They've done exceptionally well, and they're a relatively new team compared to the legacy teams of both Jam and Chiefs.
True. Relatively new. Not that new.
Yeah, relatively. Compared to Jam and Chiefs, who have been around for the OCE scene, for a very long time. And they've had periods complete domination.
Haven't Chiefs been the team that's been together the longest now?
They're the longest OCE team.
Yeah? There you go. 2 years? I'm going to guess.
It's pretty close to it, I reckon.
I should know.
It's over. They've been longer than this year.
1 year. It's been 1 year. Okay. Thank you, Yummy. We're about to jump back into the game. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Pale Horse are just loading up. And Conspiracy Esports are it was the game. It was the game one that hurt us.
Yeah, the conspiracy.
It was CJ. They're on tribunal. They're CJ scored a goal. Wasn't really acceptable. I'm going to talk to him now and sit him down.
Yeah. Go into his stream. It's a little high. Rip.
Yeah. All right. We're about to jump back in. Thank you so much for dealing with my crap banter and Korea's beautiful face.
Aww.
That's not so hard to deal with, but it's more the banter side, isn't it? As we do jump back in, Conspiracy Esports have a lot on the line here. It is game number 2. Pale Horse are up 1. And Pale Horse Esports doing what we expected, but not in the fashion of the first game. Pale Horse, game number 2. Can they take this one cleaner, or will Conspiracy find a first goal off the bat?
Yeah, Conspiracy have never actually beaten Pale Horse before at one of these big tournaments. So for them, this is going to be a landmark victory, not only because it would take them all the way to that LAN finals, but it would also be the first time they've taken down another one of the top teams.
Well, Pale Horse, they jump up immediately in the defense. Who's there for Conspiracy? Do they overcommit? No. The ball rolls past, and luckily it goes to this left-hand wing. Walcott playing the patient game. We talked about how patient this this Conspiracy side can be. Slurpee, he'll just save it nice and slow. Kami's there, hits it back. Slurpee Monster hitting it over, but it's Takia. He hits it a second time. The ball bounces back down, and Conspiracy to get it out of this side of the field.
Yeah, Slurpee doing 1v1s against every team on Pale. We do see Hectic get the nice little pop over the rest of the defense, but they're still stuck in their half.
Almost a minute's passed, and already Conspiracy have had majority of the possession here. Conspiracy Esports are really struggling to get out of this side of the field, but Pale Horse still punishing them. Slurpee Monster hitting it up. Kami's here, hits it over the top. Who's there in goal? Kia trying to dunk the ball down off the backboard. Kami gets it over, and a lot of participation coming through, but that's more than that. That's a goal.
Safe goal there, nearly getting it out, but just not right in the nick of time. CJ Kami doubling up for that backboard play and taking the lead.
First goal for Pale Horse, closer and closer to those PAX LAN finals. That's where they think they belong, that's where they think they deserve to be, and they'd be right, but both teams deserve to be there. Conspiracy, what's your response?
Hopefully for their sake a goal, otherwise the balloons and streamers are going to be real appropriate for Pale Horse.
Yeah, they're going to be coming back again. Kia off the backboard, setting it up. Pale Horse with the speed, the tempo, the advantage. CJ doesn't find that just yet. Walcott, Hectic. This is their duo moment. They leave the ball. Hectic, solo play.
They're dropping it down to Kami, who's going to be like, yes, thank you. I'll run this right into the other side of the pitch. Walcott now left on defense, needing his team to come back him up.
Yeah, Slurpee just gave the ball over to Kami there, and it gave a bit of leg room for Pale Horse to wiggle. Ball hits the center field. Kia's there off the roof. Slurpee over to Kia, though.
A little bit slow on the jump up, unlike the first game where Conspiracy was so fast to the ball. Pale Horse has hit their speed, and it's resulting in some quick goals.
That was actually sick to watch, and the replay does it justice that it should have. Pale Horse up 2 goals. And Kia getting some style points here as well. Pale Horse looking comfortable to take game 2.
Yeah, Conspiracy, not the best team from playing from behind, because they've had to adapt to have this more aggressive style that they've now used to great advantage. But Pale Horse, this is where they want to be.
Yeah, Conspiracy Esports struggling a little bit here, but that first goal could change the fate. However, Pale Horse, they're just coming in. They're putting in that tempo. They're going fast. They're going strong. And it looks like nothing can stop them in game 2. Conspiracy have to make a response quickly. Not quietly, but just quickly.
Ooh, nearly on there, but the defense is going to have to keep struggling to hold this back as Pale Horse build the pressure, but a good clear may actually save them.
That's a really big clear, actually. Walcott's here, pinches it on the side. Slurpee not in the right place at the right time, but he hit it back and they'll just leave it. Walcott, he runs back for the boost. Slurpee, the ball centered. Hectic's there. CJ meets with a terrible fate, doesn't he? He takes the mask off, and underneath, it's not Link, but it's still Hectic. 2:30 to remain, and Conspiracy Esports, they're down 2 goals. What a strange occurrence this has been. The Conspiracy still to hold on this much, but Pale Horse feel like they've found the control and the advantage. Conspiracy have 2 minutes to work with in the second game.
Yeah, Pale showing a little bit of respect, not going for that more aggressive double challenge that they're typically famous for, and decide to rotate back, and Walcott taking that demo in the goal is going to open up Pale Horse's defense.
That's right, Slurpee sets it up, but never mind that. Conspiracy Esports under fire again. Kami, the center's there. Conspiracy, 2 members on the ball, Hectic and Walcott, the duo. They're going together to get the ball over CJ. Denied.
Yep, Slurpee Monster tries to cut across, buy them a little bit of time, but demoed out, allowing Pale Horse to run rampant across the pitch.
Kami, the ball's taken away from him. Who gets it? There's the demo, and they've got a goal, and Conspiracy are back in.
Great use of demo there to punish Pale for that all in as the 3 men march down for justice.
Slurpee.
And take that goal.
That was beautiful from Slurpee, just what they needed. And reading the play, Conspiracy Esports have 1 more goal to take it to a bare minimum of overtime. There's 1 minute 30, and I've seen goals and less.
We've had a 4-second goal today, so 1:30 is definitely doable. Conspiracy now going into their own corner to start the next action.
Pale Horse, they're not giving up just here. CJ sets it up for Kami. He tries to slot it in and misses. Now they've committed, but there's no response from Conspiracy Esports. CJ will hit it around the corner. Hectic's here. He has to dribble the ball, but he leaves it. Does he read the play better? Not sure. Who gets the ball first? Kia, second touch. Follow through. There's Walcott, Kia, the center, and CJ gets number 3.
Just too fast, getting right under Hectic's nose, managing to take it straight from him. That Kia CJ combo is terrifying in the other side of the pitch.
Minute remaining in game number 2. 2-goal advantage has resumed for Pale Horse. Questioning whether Conspiracy can do this again. They have to do it fast. I wanted to see game 1 Conspiracy here, but I'm seeing game number 1 end of Pale Horse. This is huge. That's a 4th goal, and that'll all but just do it for Pale Horse.
Yeah, the death knell ringing for Conspiracy. More nails into that coffin, but for their sake, remember those at home, whilst this is a game that a match that decides who goes to that PAX finals, we don't care about the number of games. We only care about who wins.
Yeah, but 2 games up, Courier, is devastating right now. Slurpee off a kickoff. We're going to get a little bit excited. 55 seconds. Conspiracy. 2 more of those, please.
That's all you need. You have more than ample time to keep pulling those out of your hat. 4-2.
Conspiracy now off the kickoff. Opportunity arises again, but it was a 1 in a million, or 1 in 10, 1 in 20, 1 in 30.
Where are you getting these numbers from?
Just making them up.
Nice.
50 seconds. Conspiracy have to deny Pale Horse Esports. Continue possession. Walcott to Hectic, the duo. We need to see them. Slurpee off the roof. Walcott, touch it back. So close.
A little bit of miscommunication. High stress environment though. Kia going for the dribble, but Hectic doesn't fall for any of these trickeries and knocks it right back to Pale Horse.
Kami, little nudge in the right direction around the corner. Hectic's waiting in the net. 30 seconds. It's Walcott coming down. Slurpee, he hits the ball mid-air. A little bump here and there. No one's in the goal for Conspiracy Esports. And Kami doesn't find it, but he helps waste some time, which for Conspiracy is so detrimental.
Yep, Kami couldn't get the touch, Kia couldn't get the touch, but it doesn't matter if the ball's in the air and you can keep it away. It is open, no touch though. Kami quicker to the ball. Conspiracy missing the final opportunity for taking out this game.
Look, to be honest, I would have become a believer there if Conspiracy found that goal. 10 seconds, would have hyped me up, but Pale Horse Esports, they'll take game 2 as well. And now Conspiracy, they're looking at the reverse sweep to stay with the potential of PAX LAN finals.
But Throwdown dreams have been made and broken on reverse sweeps on the very stages down here. So we may see it again. Never rule the team out.
Pale Horse 5-2, great game 2, but Conspiracy still fight back, and you can see the consistent edge that Conspiracy are providing in this series. Never before have we seen Pale Horse put into a corner by a team that wasn't in that top 6. Screw it. I'm taking out, not going to take out another team. I'm going to put Conspiracy top 7 now.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say the Power 6 has been extended to 7 teams
broken
now. It's been broken. The bubble's been popped, or at least receded to include Conspiracy.
If we put Legacy in there, if we put Avant in there, we have to now put Conspiracy in there. I think they'll be happy with that at least. They've fought so hard in this season, in this championship season. They have fought so darn hard, and they're putting up a fight against Pale Horse. You would not expect this. You'd put them next to each other at the start of the season, and you'd say, who are Conspiracy? Now we say, you know Conspiracy, right? The boys, the legends in defense, who can now adapt and challenge teams like Legacy, like Avant, and even put up a fight against Pale Horse.
Yeah, it's really going to put in perspective where they fall into the ladder. They came in at about a 7th seed, and there was a huge gap between 1 and 6. And then 7 and 8. We had this big Power 6. And over the course of all of League Pay, we've seen them slowly creep. League Pay. It's not a pay-to-win game. This is a fair game all the way around.
It is.
So because of that, we are seeing them slowly creep up. They can beat Noisy. They beat out Legacy. They move up a little bit more. They beat out Avant. They moved up a little bit more. And now we're seeing them creep into the top 4. And if they can beat Pale, they're proven they deserve to be here.
They definitely deserve to be here. And teams like Noisy, then you have Legacy and Avant, and then Conspiracy, they've done very well in league play and should be commended whatever the result is. Pale Horse, can they put the nail in the coffin here and finish Conspiracy Esports, take themselves to LAN, and meet Yummy Cheese Man?
And that is not always the aspiration we have, but it's definitely a perk. Yummy Cheese Man is a great guy.
Some would say, some would argue, I would argue. Pale Horse Esports, 2-0. Before I do get slapped, we need to look at Conspiracy Esports and how they've recovered this series. It starts with this game. Hectic brings it up. The chance of a reverse sweep, I mean, we've almost seen it today. Legacy provided, or at least tried to. And Walcott setting it up now over the top. First goal for Conspiracy.
The magic number of the day. First goal dictates the pace with a 75% win rate.
Well,
so they're in a good place to start the reverse sweep.
Not anymore, Chris, because we saw that in game number 1.
That's not how statistics works, Jake.
Okay.
It's just the odds of it happening. It's not a...
All right, so it doesn't get changed mid-game?
No.
Okay. We learn something new every day. Conspiracy, we're about to find something else out. Kia, off the back foot. They're going to push forward. Pale Horse Esports not deterred whatsoever in this game number 3. Conspiracy Esports have 4 minutes to hold. They're pushing up. They're not holding in the defense. They know that Pale Horse will penetrate that line. So Conspiracy are just trying to push up again.
I think that's a good call. They can't afford to be sitting there in this safe defense with 3 men sitting back, because eventually Pale Horse will work out how to crack through, and with 4 minutes of offense, they're going to do it.
We saw Slurpee there trying to commit to the ball, misses it unfortunately. Could have been the shot that they needed. Walcott lobs it over. It's going to go over CJ back and forth between that backboard. Kia will reach up and receive. A lot of fast movement coming through, as we see from Pale Horse. Great passing play. Kia in the net, gets no one. And Kami is going to try and recover this ball. Slurpee Monster over the top. Where can he find his opening? The weakness, it doesn't lie anywhere at the moment for Conspiracy. Kami will be bumped, and Conspiracy holding strong, but for how long?
Yes, Slurpee using that bump to enable him to get the boost.
Oh.
Ooh, sneaky shot straight over CJ, pulling him out of position as they now bounce over Kami as well.
Slurpee Monster getting ready on the wing. Walcott's there. Hectic in defense. They're pushed up into the midfield, more of a normal formation. Defense still holding out strong. Conspiracy Esports putting up such a good fight against Pale Horse, but they get it over. Not over Walcott. Good enough. Conspiracy, how do you hold out?
Easily by the looks of it. They're maybe nail biters all the way through, but they're quietly confident holding this defense for a good 2 minutes against the onslaught that is the Pale Horse.
And that is such a scary onslaught. Pale Horse, one of the spookiest teams we have in our league play. Kami is now back into defense. As the ball rolls, he will control it pace by pace. Walcott, here we go. Hectic, Kami, the play off the wing. You're getting ready. The boost being used to drop the ball. Unable to find it is Kami. Ready to receive his Kia. Ball off the wall is Hectic. And then Walcott just to find the follow through, but we'll just pick up boost and try to recover. Back and forth, the ball will continue to go for 2 minutes.
Yeah, Conspiracy having great backboard defense for those past plays, and now they just need to hold it out for another 2, or even get a goal, but they are struggling on the offense.
Really facing the challenge of the ball here. Hectic saving it away. Conspiracy so great at holding out in this goal, and Pale Horse is struggling to find the equalizer.
And it's a stressful thing having to go so offensive to try crack through Conspiracy, because you know that if you go a little too deep, the counter-attack is going to come out and make it even harder to catch up.
Even to take 1 game here would be great career, don't you think? Just Conspiracy finding one off Pale Horse, starts a reverse sweep. Not only that, but gives them the respect further that they deserve.
Why stop at 1? Go for the full sweep. I don't want 1 from Conspiracy. No. They want the whole thing. They want all the pie.
Of course they do. They're hungry. They know it. Pale Horse know it at this stage. The first shot, demolition in goal, that's what they need. But they still won't find anything. CJ knows that they've recovered off the roof, does a twirl. Kami responds. CJ on the ground. And here we go. Kia with the shot. Hits the crossbar. CJ to lock it in.
That is the clincher. They did 3 minutes of hard defense, but eventually the demo comes out and opens up the goal seconds later for CJ to knock it out.
And with only a minute remaining, career. That means Conspiracy, they're under threat again. Will this be a 3-0? Will it be a 2-1? Will it not even end? Because overtime will go for that long. You're going to have to find out next time. We're back. 1 minute remaining. Continue on with Conspiracy. That's what we want to see. Continuizing. It's not even a word. Let's just continue with Conspiracy's fight in this series. 45 seconds. Do Pale Horse take it to overtime? Can Conspiracy hold out? I have so many questions for this mob that surprised us throughout the whole season. And in front of the net now, dangerous lies. Hectic goes backwards. Does not want this goal to go in. They try for the passing play, and Pale Horse, they bring it back.
Yeah, they control the midfield so strong. Pale always keeping someone sitting right on that midfield line so they can block any clears that don't go all the way to the back of the pitch.
Great job from Slurpee. Would have been better if he hit the ball the second time, so Walcott commits and jumps up, and now Walcott has to get back. Who's in the goal? The ball! Excuse me, no way! For CJ. Might have just done it for Pale Horse.
12 seconds left on the clock. They are comfortable now. They'll be able to hold out for that last 12 as CJ secures the dream.
For Conspiracy Esports, what a tried and tested run it has been to move towards the Paxland Finals. Pale Horse, they've been challenged here, but they have come out ahead. 5 seconds remaining. We have to see some kind of wondrous play through from Conspiracy Esports, but as the ball hits the ground, Pale Horse take a 3-0, and Conspiracy, unfortunately, will have to look back and wonder. However, they shouldn't be disappointed. For their first run, Conspiracy Esports has challenged our full top 7, not including themselves. You can challenge yourself. So top 8. Pale Horse, they've done it. They move up. They are going to PAX, and they'll be very happy for the first time that they get to meet you.
They've met me
What?
before.
Have they?
Yeah.
They get to meet Courier. This is
They've met
packed.
Curia before too.
Like, they'll get to meet them.
Yeah,
Oh, they're not happy about that.
I'd like to put out a public apology to the Pale Horse squad for having to meet Hysterics,
like me.
but
They like
they're
me.
excited to be able to go. They've had an absolutely amazing run.
They have.
Really solid play, and even in that match, with Conspiracy getting a lot of solid chances, you saw that Pale Horse controlled those big plays. They had those opportunities over and over again and really controlled the pace of the match.
And played it safe as well for how dominating they were. They made sure that they never overcommitted. They never went too far in. So they had all the shots without the risk.
One thing we really saw as well in that game that I thought might be too much of a disadvantage for Pale Horse was that they were always playing fast. Even when they had a ton of time, they weren't using it because I think they were expecting Conspiracy to push up more. But it was still just enough. But that was Conspiracy's hole. And we have seen a few cracks in Pale Horse this season as they look to go to packs.
But all credit to Conspiracy there. I mean, yes, there's some holes, but for a newer team to hold out against Pale Horse to a degree and not really get slammed was a credit to them.
For this series, they're not going to be happy. They got 3-0.
No,
There was a 5-2 in there as well. But across the entire league play, they took down Legacy. They took down Avant. They had some huge wins. They took what I think is fifth place. Yeah, fifth place in the entire tournament. And we have our top four.
Okay. So, running through top four, Yummy. Hit us up.
Jam Gaming. Then Chiefs, the second. Pale Horse, number 3. And Scylla are number 4. So it's going to be Jam versus Scylla in the first round, as well as Pale Horse versus Chiefs. Some really spicy matchups to begin the PAX LAN.
To be fair, though, I think Chiefs will kind of be smiling a little bit because Scylla Esports beating them 3-2 today means they can be defeated, but Jam might be like, hang on, they beat Chiefs.
Well,
Chiefs beat us.
Of the 3, Chiefs were the only, beat Pale Horse. They didn't beat the other 2. They lost to Jam. They lost to Scylla. Wait, no, they beat Jam.
Yeah, they beat Jam
today.
and they beat Pale.
They beat Pale, but
And
they
they
lost,
lost
to
to
Scylla.
Scylla.
So they want to verse those 2 in the finals, as well as Jam. They're pretty happy no matter who they verse, but they're probably most scared of Pale Horse.
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of teams are, but that does wrap out all of our league play and our top 4 teams going to the PAX LAN. Yummy, we have to look at an MVP, and to tie it up with a perfect ribbon, who have you chosen as your MVP, or who have we chosen?
Well, okay. Our MVP of today was Dumbo from Scylla
Definitely deserves
Esports. He really stepped up today. He was a big factor in taking down the Chiefs, and he got a lot of really crucial goals. He didn't get all of the goals. He didn't get all of the plays, but he got some really big ones that secured it.
And it's a team that they count so much for. If you're getting these huge goals against Chiefs, it helped them get revenge. It helped them get into potentially even RLCS, improve the amount of money they get, and it does history.
And he was the one who was super devastated at the end of the last LAN when they failed to make it to RLCS. But he's going to get a $50 Macca's card. And if you follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/throwdowntv, then you can vote on the community award tomorrow night. There'll be 4 nominees. And you can vote who else gets a $50 Macca's card.
However,
But what I did want to talk about is
please.
there is the RLCS player accolades. And I haven't confirmed any of them because I don't have the stats on the fly. But I think it's good that everyone out there knows that there's $500 for each of the top goal scorer, top assister, and top saver.
Wow.
And for the MVP of the entire season, that's going to be voted on by the RLCS committee overnight, and you'll find out all of those on RLCS Overtime. But the likely front runners, because I know you'll look at the stats here, Torsos has almost certainly secured it. I can't see him not getting the golden striker. The assists is really close. It was like close between 5 different people right at the start. But Kia looks like he's clinched that out in the last series of the day, where he got 4 or 5 assists. And then the golden keeper was Walcott. So two
Nice, bro.
secures
Conspiracy.
right at the end, Walcott's likely. Now, none of those are confirmed. They'll get confirmed on
Yep.
RLCS overtime. But it's good to look at.
Little bit of a
good
teaser.
to give people some credibility.
I
or
mean, they
credit.
deserve. We've had so many good individual performances coming through in our league play. It's unfortunate that is it. However, we will be moving forward to PAX, so we have the break of next weekend to recover, to recoup, and then after that, on the 29th at PAX, live on the Sunday.
11 a.m. AEDT. That's 5 p.m. PST out there. It's going to be a big one. It's going to happen after the RLCS promotion tournament for
right.
NA.
That's right, on the Throwdown stage live. We cannot wait to bring it to you. Thank you so much again for joining us. Proudly supported by Macca's, who we love and know. I'm going to get a Big Mac. And the most important thing is to thank Yummy Cheeseman and Korea Lord and our production crew here. And we'll see you guys live at PAX for our top 4 and the road to RLCS to continue.